There's a small, still voice within you that is lighting the way to your greatness. It's not loud, it's not pushy. It's a simple whisper towards the road that's best for your journey at this time. This voice is your essence, the holy divine being that you are. Will you listen? Through my experiences, its requests aren't always the easiest option. It's always opposite what the ego wants. And even though it's easier to listen to the ego, when we shape our lives from that perspective, we rarely end up living the life that makes us happy. While we're entangled in the madness, we can't really see through the illusions that the ego has created. Sometimes we gotta take a step back to make sure that we're living in alignment with the beauty that the Most High has called us to live. Man, this journal entry is a gentle reminder of how important it is to stay aligned. And it's easy to get caught up in the world and what might be the easiest way of living. But I found that when I move from a space of authenticity and just the organicness of like who I am at my core, that's when I find the most peace in my life, versus making choices from like an egoic, I don't know if that's a word, perspective. Life tends to get a little chaotic and disorienting and uncomfortable. And I think we've talked about this before, like the discomfort of life, the discomfort that living from your higher self can bring. It can bring discomfort, but in the end it brings a certain level of comfort and peace. And so as I continue to journey down this path to staying aligned with my divine life path, I'm finding that I'm more willing to align with what's right for me versus what my ego wants to do, because I'd rather be uncomfortable in a way that's going to serve my greatness and serve like my level of peace and divine comfort, versus just being comfortable for the moment and making choices out of ego. I hope that makes sense. You guys know I don't edit these, so but I hope the way that I spoke that makes sense. So yeah, this journal entry is just a gentle reminder of making sure that we stay aligned with that little voice that's always whispering things to us, giving us guidance along our journeys, giving us encouragement along our journeys, and having grace with ourselves when we do choose, when we do make choices that are from the ego's perspective. Yeah. So something that I find is really helpful to do when I am feeling disoriented or just disorganized in the mind, or when I find myself in a phase where I'm moving from ego and not really connected. I mean, like, I'm always connected to my higher self at this point, but there are times when I move from more of an ego perspective. And so something that always helps me to get back to where I need to be mentally, so that I'm divinely aligned, and making choices from a higher perspective, a higher vibrational frequency choices making area of my brain. Something that helps me to just tap back into that is earthing. And earthing is such a beautiful, simple practice. And it is, y'all, it's so helpful. It helps me to organize my thoughts. I have a very active brain, as I know a lot of us probably do, especially if you're someone that's part of this community. You probably are very creative. You're probably very sensitive. And so you probably have a lot of thoughts. And so earthing is a practice of grounding. It is scientifically proven that the frequencies of the earth help us to ground ourselves. They help us to heal ourselves, and all these things. So I really encourage you all, if you haven't done research on earthing, please go do some research for yourself, just so that you have your own understanding of what earthing can do. Forms of earthing: you can just put your feet on the earth. It's really that simple. In grass, in natural bodies of water, so like a river or a creek. If you're by the ocean, the lake, get your feet just on a piece of earth. Even if it's like, here in Colorado, we don't really have like natural bodies of water, so I usually just put my feet in some grass. But where I live, like, people don't clean up after their dogs. It's kind of disgusting. But I like to go up to the mountains and just put my feet on the earth, and that tends to help to ground out the energies around me, in my aura, in my body. It's quite a beautiful experience. So if you haven't done it, I encourage you to give it a try, and let me know how it goes down in the comments after you've given it a try. Also, feel free to share some of the facts that you've uncovered about earthing down in the comments after you do some research. And of course, as always, please share your experience, and how you stay tapped in to listening to that small, still voice, that tiny whisper that comes through to guide you on your journey. How do you stay tapped into that? For some people, it might be visions that you see. I think I've told you guys that I get messages through vision sometimes. Sometimes I hear. So let us know down in the comments how you stay tapped in, how you stay connected to your higher self, your divine essence. And that's the journal entry for this week. Make sure you sip on some nice elderberry tea this weekend. Keep that immune system up and enjoy these fall vibes. I'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.